In our journey through life, we are bound to encounter people who doubt us, criticize us, and question our every move. But let me tell you this, the secret to your peace and success is simple: ignore them as though they never existed. It's not always easy, I know. Negative comments, unkind gestures, and uninvited opinions have a way of finding us sometimes at the most vulnerable moments. But let me ask you, what do these people have to do with your future? What do their words or their judgments add to your path? Absolutely nothing. The key to unlocking your potential lies in the art of focus. Focus on what matters. Focus on your dreams, your growth, and your journey. When you choose to ignore the distractions of those who do not understand your vision, you open the door to clarity and purpose. When someone doesn't believe in you, it's not your responsibility to convince them. It's not about them, it's about you and where you're going. You see, personal growth and success don't thrive on validation. They thrive on consistency, resilience, and belief in oneself. The world will always try to pull you in different directions, but your strength comes from staying true to who you are, what you are meant to do. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Remember, your path is yours alone. When faced with negativity, we must choose emotional control. You are not responsible for the way others behave or what they say, but you are responsible for how you respond. Every moment you spend reacting to someone else's disrespect is a moment taken away from your own peace and progress. And that is something you cannot afford. Setting boundaries is one of the greatest acts of self-love you can give yourself. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your emotional space if they are only there to bring you down. Protect your energy like the precious resource it is, and keep your focus sharp on the things that matter. In the end, it all comes down to peace. The peace you create when you refuse to let others disturb your inner world. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them criticize. But remember, they are not part of your journey. They are simply passing by, and you, my friends, are destined for greater things. So the next time someone tries to bring you down, look them in the eye and silently walk away. Ignore them as though they never existed, and keep moving forward on the path that only you can walk. Your future is bright, and it's waiting for you to step into it, free from the weight of others' opinions. When we think about the distractions we face in life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. There are so many things, so many people, and so many voices that can easily pull us away from what matters most. The one thing we all need to realize is that our focus is one of the most powerful tools we have. It is the key to creating the life we desire and achieving the goals that are important to us. But the challenge is we must protect our focus and ensure it is directed toward the things that truly matter. Too often, we let distractions, especially from negative people or voices of doubt, steer us off course. The ability to maintain focus and stay dedicated to our path is what sets successful people apart from those who are constantly caught in a cycle of uncertainty and self-doubt. The importance of focus lies in the fact that it allows us to harness our energy, thoughts, and time toward meaningful actions that bring us closer to our goals. When we focus, we prioritize, we make choices about what's important, ignore the rest. Imagine if you allowed every piece of negative feedback or criticism to influence the direction of your life. You would constantly be shifting gears, second-guessing your every move, and never moving forward. The truth is, no matter how hard we try, we cannot control other people's opinions. What we can control, however, is where we choose to direct our energy. The more you allow yourself to get caught up in what others think or say, the more time you waste. Every moment spent dwelling on someone else's negativity is a moment taken away from your dreams and your personal growth. The power of focus comes when we decide that we are no longer going to allow external factors to determine our success. The world is full of distractions, from social media comments to unsolicited advice from others. It's easy to lose sight of what you're working for. But when you learn to ignore those distractions, you free up your energy to direct it where it matters on your own goals, your own progress, and your own self-improvement. This focus becomes even more important when we are working towards something big. Whether it's starting a new business, pursuing a passion, or working on self-improvement, these things require an intense level of attention and dedication. We cannot afford to waste precious time on negativity or doubts from others. Our attention must remain rooted in the vision we have for ourselves, and we must be intentional about where we place our energy. The practice of focus also helps us deal with the inevitable obstacles that come our way. Life is full of challenges. No one is immune to setbacks or difficulties. But when we remain focused on our end goal, we are better able to navigate through those challenges without losing momentum. Focus helps us persevere through tough times. It reminds us why we started and helps us stay on track even when the going gets tough. Without focus, challenges seem insurmountable. With focus, obstacles become opportunities to prove our resilience. It's also important to note that focus is not just about ignoring negative people or opinions. It's about choosing what is worth your attention and energy. It's about realizing that not everything demands a reaction. In fact, much of what we think we need to engage with is irrelevant to our path. When we focus, we make the conscious decision to disregard distractions that do not serve our higher purpose. It's a mindset that says, I'm not going to let this pull me off course. My time, my energy, and my attention are too valuable to waste. By cultivating this focus, we can make more thoughtful decisions and take actions that are aligned with our true desires. This focused approach allows us to break through the noise and stay connected to what truly matters. Ultimately, focus is a practice of self-discipline. It's about intentionally deciding what you allow into your mind and life. It's about creating an environment where your dreams can grow and flourish without being crowded out by distractions. So when you think about your goals and the life you want to create, remember that focus is one of your most powerful assets. Protect it, nurture it, and direct it toward what serves you best. The more focused you are, the more clarity you will have, and the more likely you are to achieve everything you set your heart on. In a world that constantly seeks validation, it can be easy to get caught in the trap of needing approval from others. We live in an age where likes, comments, and praise have become measures of success and self-worth. Yet if you base your growth and your happiness on the approval of others, you are setting yourself up for a life of constant uncertainty and disappointment. Personal growth, true success, and inner peace are not born from the validation of others, but from the confidence and belief you have in yourself. The journey toward personal growth and fulfillment should always begin from within. You cannot rely on the opinions or recognition of others to determine your worth or to motivate you to take action. This is a trap that many fall into, and it only leads to frustration. People's perspectives and opinions are often fleeting, inconsistent, and sometimes even misguided. What one person praises today, another may criticize tomorrow. Therefore, basing your progress on external validation is a fragile foundation upon which to build your life. Instead, focus on building your sense of self-worth from within. The most powerful thing you can do for your personal growth is to stop seeking approval from others and instead seek self-validation. When you trust in your abilities and your vision, you will find the strength to keep going, even when others don't understand or support your decisions. This shift in mindset is crucial for creating lasting growth. When you learn to validate yourself, you no longer need to explain or defend your choices to others. You develop a sense of confidence that is unshakable, one that does not rely on others' reactions to feel fulfilled. Imagine how liberating it would be to pursue your goals without needing someone else's approval. How much energy do we waste in trying to convince others of our worth or explaining our intentions? How many times have you held back from taking bold actions because you feared what others would think? When you release the need for validation, you free yourself from these chains. You open the door to a life where you make decisions based on what is right for you, not on how others will perceive you. This is not about arrogance or disregarding others. It's about understanding that your life and your decisions belong to you, and you have the right to live them authentically. True growth comes from listening to your inner voice and trusting your instincts. It comes from knowing your purpose and following it, regardless of what others may say or do. When you stop seeking approval, you are in control of your path, and you can move forward with clarity. You no longer have to worry about meeting someone else's expectations because you've already set your own. By focusing on your own journey, you give yourself permission to take risks, to fail, and to rise again without fear of judgment. Every misstep becomes a learning opportunity, not a failure, because you are no longer dependent on outside approval to measure your progress. Seeking approval often leads to people-pleasing behaviors. You may find yourself bending over backward to meet others' expectations, even at the expense of your own values, desires, or needs. This can be exhausting and depleting. When you seek validation from others, you are essentially allowing them to define your boundaries, and that can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration. You may end up doing things for others that you don't genuinely want to do, and in the end, you'll find yourself empty because you're giving pieces of yourself away in an attempt to gain approval. The process of learning to validate yourself is one of empowerment. It means knowing that you are enough just as you are without needing to be constantly reassured by those around you. It means recognizing that your value is inherent, not something that has to be earned or proven. When you begin to validate yourself, you start to make decisions that align with your authentic self. And that is where true personal growth happens. You start to set goals that are meaningful to you, not to others. You start to live a life that reflects your own passions, dreams, and values, not someone else's vision of success. It is not easy to break free from the need for validation, especially in a world that constantly seeks affirmation. However, the moment you shift your focus from external approval to internal confidence, you begin to live with a sense of purpose and direction that is unwavering. You stop waiting for others to believe in you because you already do. You stop needing others to see your worth because you recognize it within yourself. And in that process, you create the kind of growth that is sustainable, fulfilling, and true to who you are. Your journey becomes yours alone, and that is the ultimate form of personal empowerment. Emotional control is one of the most crucial skills we can develop in our lives, yet it is often overlooked or underestimated. In a world that is filled with external pressures, unpredictable circumstances, and emotional triggers, learning how to manage our emotions becomes essential to our well-being and success. Emotions, by their nature, are powerful and can either propel us toward our goals or hinder our progress. The ability to control our emotional responses in challenging situations is what distinguishes those who thrive from those who struggle. When we allow our emotions to control us, we become reactive rather than proactive, and this reactionary behavior can lead to impulsive decisions, regrets, and missed opportunities. By learning emotional control, we gain the power to respond thoughtfully, make clear decisions, and maintain our peace of mind. The first step in emotional control is understanding that we are not our emotions. Emotions are simply responses to our environment, our thoughts, and our experiences. They arise as reactions to external stimuli, but they do not define who we are or dictate our behavior. Recognizing this separation between ourselves and our emotions is liberating because it means we have the ability to choose how to respond to any situation. Just because we feel anger, frustration, or sadness in a moment does not mean we have to act on those feelings. It is important to remember that emotions are temporary, and while they may be intense in the moment, they do not have to control the outcome of a situation. For example, when faced with criticism or a negative comment, our initial emotional response might be defensiveness or anger. It's natural to want to react and justify ourselves, but that knee-jerk reaction often leads to unnecessary conflict and regret. Instead of reacting impulsively, emotional control teaches us to pause, breathe, and assess the situation before responding. We can ask ourselves, is this worth my energy, or what is the best response to this situation that will allow me to maintain my peace and stay aligned with my goals? By practicing emotional control, we allow ourselves to be guided by logic and reason rather than emotion-driven impulses. Emotional control also involves self-awareness. The more we understand our emotional triggers, the more equipped we are to manage them. Each of us has different things that set us off. Some people may get frustrated by small inconveniences, while others might feel anxious in social situations. When we become aware of these triggers, we can take steps to either avoid them or prepare ourselves to handle them better. For instance, if you know that being criticized publicly causes you to feel defensive, you can practice techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or even silence before reacting. You can also reframe your thoughts by reminding yourself that the person criticizing you may not have malicious intent, and that their feedback, though difficult to hear, can actually be an opportunity for growth. The power of emotional control also lies in our ability to stay calm under pressure. Life is full of stressful situations, from work challenges to personal conflicts. However, the way we handle stress can determine the outcome of these situations. When we let our emotions run wild in moments of pressure, we often make poor decisions or lash out at others, which can create even more problems. On the other hand, when we maintain emotional control, we can think clearly, make wise choices, and remain composed even in the most difficult circumstances. People are drawn to those who can remain calm in the face of adversity because it instills a sense of trust and confidence. Whether in a crisis at work or a family disagreement, emotional control allows us to be the steady force in the room, providing a sense of stability for ourselves and others. One of the most important aspects of emotional control is using our emotions as fuel rather than allowing them to derail us. For instance, If you're feeling frustrated because a project isn't progressing as you hoped, instead of letting that frustration cloud your judgment, you can use it as motivation to work harder and find new solutions. The key is to channel the emotion in a productive way. Frustration can drive determination, anger can spark action, sadness can inspire reflection. But when we let these emotions overpower us, they become obstacles. Emotional control teaches us how to harness these feelings to our advantage rather than letting them control our actions in a negative way. Another crucial point is that emotional control doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It doesn't mean pretending that we are fine when we're not or denying our feelings. It's about acknowledging our emotions without allowing them to dominate our behavior. It's about feeling the emotion fully but deciding how to respond in a way that aligns with our values and goals. By doing so, we maintain our integrity and peace of mind while also staying in control of the direction of our lives. Emotional control is a practice, one that requires patience, self-reflection, and a commitment to personal growth. But with time and dedication, it becomes easier to manage our emotions. And in doing so, we create a life that is more balanced, purposeful, and aligned with our true desires. By choosing how we respond to the world around us, we reclaim our power, maintain our focus, and build the resilience we need to overcome any obstacle. There is a profound strength in silence. It can be easy to overlook the power of remaining quiet, especially in a world that encourages constant communication and expression. However, silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is an intentional, powerful choice that can guide us toward better decision-making, deeper self-awareness, and more meaningful interactions. It is essential to recognize that sometimes saying nothing is the most impactful thing we can do. In many situations, our first instinct may be to react, to speak out, to defend ourselves, or to explain ourselves. But responding impulsively often leads to regret or escalates conflict. When we choose silence, we create the space necessary for reflection. It gives us the opportunity to pause and assess the situation, to breathe before responding, and to consider the consequences of our words or actions. This moment of stillness allows us to regain composure, focus our thoughts, and respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. Often people expect a response or an answer, especially when they challenge us or provoke us. The desire to please, to be seen as competent or knowledgeable, can push us to speak when it might be better to remain silent. Yet, the most powerful individuals are those who understand that silence is not a weakness but a sign of strength and wisdom. Silence demonstrates emotional control, maturity, and the ability to maintain your integrity regardless of external pressures. It speaks volumes about your character and the respect you have for yourself and others. Silence creates an environment of peace and clarity. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded with information, noise, and distractions. It can be overwhelming, and it often leads to decision fatigue, confusion, and stress. By embracing silence, we allow our minds to rest, to process, and to reset. It is in these moments of quiet that we gain insights into our true feelings, desires, and needs. We become better listeners not just to others, but to ourselves. This is crucial for personal growth, as it allows us to tap into our inner wisdom and gain clarity on what truly matters. One of the most powerful forms of silence is when we choose not to react to disrespect, criticism, or negativity. In these moments, it can be tempting to engage in a verbal sparring match to defend our actions or to justify ourselves. However, engaging in these types of exchanges often leads to more conflict and confusion. By choosing silence, we avoid feeding into negativity and protect our peace. We demonstrate that the opinions of others do not define us, and that we will not allow external negativity to disturb our internal calm. In many cases, saying nothing speaks louder than words because it shows that we are above petty arguments and that we are in control of our emotional responses. Silence is also a powerful tool for observation. When we remain quiet, we open ourselves up to truly observing what is happening around us. We can gain a better understanding of people's motives, behaviors, and intentions. Oftentimes, when we speak too quickly or too often, we miss out on valuable information. But in silence, we can listen deeply, notice subtle cues, and gain a clearer understanding of the situation. This is especially important in personal relationships and professional settings, where true understanding often lies beneath the surface. By choosing silence, we allow ourselves to be more perceptive, more empathetic, and more aware of the dynamics at play. Another key benefit of silence is its ability to protect our energy. In a world where so many people seek validation, attention, or the chance to be heard, it can be draining to constantly engage with others on every issue. Silence allows us to conserve our energy for what truly matters. We become more intentional with our words, speaking only when it aligns with our purpose, values, or goals. This is not to say that we should be silent in all situations, but rather that we should choose our words and interactions wisely. By conserving our energy and only engaging when necessary, we maintain our emotional and mental well-being, reducing stress and burnout. In the context of personal growth, silence is an essential tool for self-reflection. In our busy lives, we often rush from one task to another, rarely taking the time to pause and reflect on our actions, our goals, and our progress. Silence creates the space for introspection, allowing us to evaluate our decisions, learn from our experiences, and adjust our course when needed. Without silence, we may miss important lessons that come from reflecting on our experiences. Silence becomes a mirror, reflecting our thoughts and actions so we can grow, learn, and improve. Silence is an act of respect. When we listen without interrupting, when we refrain from speaking out of turn, we show respect for others and their perspectives. It allows people to express themselves fully without the pressure of immediate response. This is particularly important in communication and relationships, where listening is just as important as speaking. By choosing silence at the right moments, we create a space for others to feel heard and understood, which builds trust and connection. The next time you feel the urge to speak impulsively, pause and consider the power of silence. Recognize that it is not a void, but a choice one that can lead to greater clarity, wisdom, and peace. Silence allows you to control your responses, to protect your energy, to gain deeper insights, and to build stronger, more meaningful relationships. It is one of the most underappreciated tools for personal growth and success, yet it has the potential to bring profound transformation into our lives. Embrace silence and let it guide you toward a more peaceful, purposeful existence.